Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. COLA, the cost of living adjustment. It's effectively a pay raise, but I know people get all wrapped up around the axle when you say pay raise because it's not really a raise. It's just an offset due to inflationary costs. So I wanted to talk about this a little bit because we have another projection for COLA, the cost of living increase adjustment, to go upward even more. Now, COLA is a double-edged sword, right? Everybody wants an increase to the amount of money that they receive, but nobody wants to pay more when you're buying goods or services, right? Paying for goods and services. So it's this weird double-edged sword. Yes, you want the high increase, but you don't really want inflation. You'd like, but you can't have your cake and eat it too. So in any case, there is another projection out there. The numbers just came out today, which is May 15th. May 15th is the date that the information got dropped for April. So April's numbers roll in here May 15th. Now, these are not the specific numbers that will be utilized to actually calculate COLA for next year, 2025. Those numbers will be the 3-month period of July, August, and September of 2024 to calculate the actual adjustment for 2025. Now, with that being said, look, don't discount these numbers. Don't discount the projections and forecasting because this is an indication of where the economy is going. It's a big ship. It takes a lot to turn it. It's not going to turn overnight. So this gives us kind of that steady Eddie approach of, okay, well, every month that we're putting in here, we're getting more information to show us where the inflationary numbers are landing. Remember that CPI-W is the consumer price index that's utilized. That's the clerical workers and wage earners index. There has been information floating around in Congress, both on the House and Senate side, to change the way that COLA is calculated, specifically pointed to utilizing the indice for elderly, which is the CPI-E, which would warrant maybe 0.25% or so higher adjustment annually. If you were to look back and use that index for each year, it would have warranted to an average of about 0.25%. So nothing too dramatic. With that, let's jump into the numbers here real quick and the article with the projection. So first of all, I'm on the MOA website here for their COLA watch. This just gives us the brief kind of update on it. And then we'll jump into the article with the prediction. So welcome to MOA's COLA page. That's where we're at. You'll find the monthly updates. If you haven't been there, it's a good snapshot. The latest is the April 2024 Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, the CPI-W, released May 15th, which is today, was 307.811. The CPI-W figures from the end of the fiscal year are the ones that will be used, right? So that's the July, August, September. That 30.811 was 2.2% above the fiscal year 2024 baseline of 301.236. May 2024 figures will be announced June 12th. So June 12th is the next drop date, and we are getting closer and closer here. So let's jump into this article that has a lot going on in it. So the headline on this article is basically that we are looking at another increase, higher projection here. So this just came out obviously today, May 15th, and it starts off, I'm on Think Advisor is the website here, and we'll jump through it. So the Social Security Cost of Living Adjustment, or COLA, for 2025 is likely to land between 2.66% and 3.2% based on the latest Consumer Price Index released on Wednesday, which is today. So, or at least the date that I posted this video. When you watch it is a different story. So, the 2024 cost of living adjustment for Social Security beneficiaries was 3.2, and now we're seeing some right? So that's last year's 3.2. And now we're seeing some indications that we could land on a 3.2% cost of living adjustment increase, right, to your disability compensation or other benefits affected by COLA. There's other VA benefits that are adjusted by COLA, as well as Social Security, of course, which are all income driving streams into your household. So this is important information. Moving on here, the April Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, the CPI-W, rose 3.4% from 12 months ago. That's slightly lower than the inflation trends indicated last month based on March inflation data. As a result, the 2025 COLA projection range has increased only marginally over the last month, but still, it has been, since January, every month, a steady increase on the projections, showing a higher projected amount for that COLA. All right, so moving on here. Now, this is according to separate estimates provided by the Senior Citizens League and the Social Security expert, Mary Johnson. So both sources caution that the final COLA for 2025 is likely to be different from their current estimates, of course, because you just never know what's going to happen in the economy. I mean, it can change, but a drastic change, right? Going from, let's say, a 3.2 projection, especially this late in the game. We're in April, you have May, June, then we're rolling into the real numbers. To see a gigantic change, to go from, like, let's say a 3.2 projection to a 0.5 projection would probably be pretty unlikely. So moving on, both sources again cautioned that it would be different. This is because COLA is calculated on the average rate of inflation during the third quarter of the calendar year. This would be the last quarter of the fiscal year, which is then compared against the third quarter calendar year a year ago. In the leagues, the Senior Citizens Leagues, 2024 senior survey, 73% of respondents said their household costs rose by more than 3.2% in 2023. In addition, 38% were worried that their 2024 COLA will fall short of inflation experienced this year. And, that's a good point. The big thing here is that, sure, the COLA got decided last year, right? This most recent adjustment that we've received was decided on July, August, and September's numbers of 2023. Then we got notified that whatever the number was going to be, 3.2, in October. Then it went into effect in December, but realized for our disability compensation payments on the January 1st payment. So that's a lot of time that goes by, and inflation keeps going. So you get it, it's already gone before you even get it in your hands, as far as just being absorbed by the inflation. All right, so here's a few highlights from April. As reported by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers, a broader measure of inflation on the CPI-W, increased 0.3% in April on a seasonally adjusted basis after rising 0.4% in March. Over the past 12 months, all items indexed increased 3.4% before seasonal adjustment. So that's going to go ahead and conclude it here. We'll end it. The bottom line is that we're seeing at this point all the way up to a 3.2% increase to anything that is affected by the federal COLA, cost of living adjustment, effectively an increase or raise to your current payment levels of whatever benefit or anything that you're receiving. So whether it's Social Security or VA disability compensation or dependency indemnity compensation or what have you. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.